evening, welcome to Damish Does D&D. It is Tuesday, therefore it is Helloran Rising, where all the lovely things happen to all the players. It's great. Well, let's find out. Celeste, what happened last time?
Dearest Ella, we gather at the tavern in celebration, all of us except Trellador, who is wisely staying away for now, though he convinces a young dwarven lad to bring us a note with a poor attempt of an apology written down on the paper. Florian, Gus and Yorick engage in a drinking competition. For most people, there would be absolutely no chance of beating one dwarf in a competition involving alcohol, let alone two. Yet Florian holds his own, seemingly unaffected by the liquor. This, of course, leads Gus to believe that Florian must indeed be a witch, and begins throwing punches which Florian deflects in such a way that Gus somehow ends up hitting himself. Before I know it, there is a brawl in the tavern and all of the dwarves are getting involved. The next thing I know, Yorick is offering for Gus to cut off people's appendages so he can grow them back using a regenerative spell. I politely thank him for his offer, but decide to keep with my crafted dragon scale hand that was blessed by reorcs instead. Then somehow, there are wheelbarrows being readied for a race through the town. It's Yorick pushing Gus versus Florian pushing the Madame. Everyone else is keen to get involved, whether it be Ferenz pulling rocks from the ground to create a slalom, or Melissa coating the ground in ice to make the journey more hazardous. As tempted as I am to bring my own flair to the race, I feel a sudden flock of animals appearing from nowhere may confuse the drunken dwarfs, possibly causing a panic. So instead I sit and watch with a smile on my face, crafting crowns of flowers for the winners. And it is no surprise to me that Yorick and Gus are victorious, so I place my crowns on each of their heads. The next morning, things become a bit more serious. There is a discussion about what we intend to do about Trellador. Do we keep him with us, or send him on his way? We put it to a vote. I know instinctively where Yorick and Gus's vote lies, just as easily as I can tell where Florian and Ferenz will choose. That just leaves me, Miette, and Melissa. Between the three of us, a decision will be made. The final vote is 4-3 in favour of him staying. I wonder if I will regret my decision in the future. But for now, it is done. He will stay. Yorick is still, understandably, upset, but he follows along with the majority, and in an effort to get back to his roots and blow off some steam, spends a large amount of time making weapons and such for the majority of our party, bar Trellador, of course, after he is given all access to the exclusive master forges of Darkhold.
So,
thank you. I'd forgotten how fantastic last week's episode was, how much fun it was, and that just brought it all back, and it was brilliant.
So
I tried to incorporate all the important bits.
wheelbarrows. Yeah. We pick up, indeed, at the forge with Yorick crafting, as a master craftsman, weapons and such like. You managed to finish up the weapons that you are doing. Is there anything else you... who else is there? Gus is with you.
I'm helping him. Yeah.
So...
Although I have a bit to go and try out my new Drake Lance. Oh no, what are we going to call it? I thought of a better name for it last week. Oh, I forgot now. I'll remember it.
Sword Spear?
Sorry?
Dragon
Sword
Lance?
Spear?
No, well that's why I wanted to get away from the lance bit.
Yeah, that might be
Because
copyrighted.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing. Don't know why.
Spiky stick of stabbing.
It was Drake Spear, like Shakespeare, Drake Spear.
Right.
Because it just flows better. So I'll change it to a Drake Spear.
Okay.
Big old pointy dragon spear.
Pig stick.
Might roll off the tongue.
Still got pointy stick of doom.
Anyway, getting away from all of that, choosing the name, is there anything you and Gus want to do, Yorick, at the forges whilst you're here? Is there anything in particular you want to craft that you didn't mention last time?
I wouldn't mind trying to upgrade my own shield if I get a chance, but I'll put mine to the last, to the back.
So you created for Gus, you created for Madame Miette,
Yeah.
and you created for Melissa, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. So I think we'd agreed that you could do 3 per day.
Okay, that's fine.
So that'll be your 3 for today. So
Yep.
you're welcome to stay another day in Daghold and create more tomorrow. That's not a problem. Apology, acts of sorriness. Just stop it, you. So we leave the busy dwarves at the Master Forge. Is there anything anybody else wants to do? I think. Tell you what, we'll go around the room. We'll start with Melissa. What were you? I know you were at the forge to.
I was at the
tell
forge to
Yorick
get some
what you
stuff, and then I
wanted.
I was sent off to the leather workers to
You
get
weren't
to get my boot modifications.
Okay. So yeah, we can. You go down to. Let me just grab the name. Did I say the name of the?
So are we saying it was a bootification?
Hey. Okay. Yeah. So you went to see Carla Scalebane, didn't you?
Yes.
To get your boots done. So you find her in there's a shop, Carla's Leatherworks, where she is. There's a dwarf, pretty similar looking to Gus and Yorick. You can tell she's a Scalebane, sat outside smoking her pipe. Where then there are other dwarves sort of running and doing errands, making things out of leather, tooling stuff. You know, the usual busy leatherworking. You could smell that kind of off-putting urine smell that they use when they're curing leather, tanning hide. And she sort of looks up. Oh, hello. You must be one of Yorick's mates, yeah? You're one of Yorick and Gus's mates, because you're too tall to be anybody else.
Yeah, certainly.
Sorry, this pipe weed's a bit wobbly.
I can smell it from up here.
Would you like some? It's really very good.
No, I'm fine for now. Yorick sent me your way for getting some modifications of my boots.
Boots, is it? Right. Yeah, we can do boots. Ooh, let me just stand up a minute. Ooh. She stands up. Ooh. Right, yes. I might finish that later. She puts it down. Right. Okay. So, how many of you? Just the one. Right. Okay, I can see that. Perfect. Right. Tell me, you haven't got like blue bits coming at your elbows, have you?
No.
Right. No, I didn't think that at all. That's not something that I thought about. It's like something different. So, anyway, you wanted some boots, did you? Right.
Yeah.
Are those, and she sort of points at your sort of high heel shoes. Look, goes, well, they're quite nice.
A modification of these ones, because
right.
I often found myself up on top of the back of monsters and not wanting them to throw me off.
To some sort of grapple type thing, perhaps.
Yeah, like a blade that I can cause to shoot out and stick in.
Tell you what we could do, right? Because those shoes, they are... I like the colour, that's good, that red colour. Tell you what we'll do then. And she sort of whips out some charcoal and some parchment, starts sketching. And right, okay, so tell me if this is what you want, right? What we're going to do is we're going to modify your shoes. We might have to take them apart a bit, but it's not a problem. We can do that. And then we're going to make the heels a little bit wider. and we'll keep them same length because they suit you with the long, the high heel bit. And what we'll do is we'll hollow these out. We're going to put a metal rod with a point on the end of it, like one of these. And she throws her wrist, and this dagger comes out into her hand. So what this is a sort of release system. You have a dagger up your sleeve, and she takes her shirt off the arm to sort of show you the mechanism. But that's not going to work because you don't flick your heels. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some sort of releases on the inside of the heel of the shoe, almost on your instep, and you just click them together, and then boom, the spikes drop down. And to reset, you just lift them out of whatever they're in, and it should reset. Because they're going to be pressure activated, you see. So if you click them together and you're standing on something, they'll try and pierce what's ever down there. Now what we'll do is we'll have a little bit of an explosive charge. And what that will do is that will reset every time you bring oxygen back in when you release whatever's underneath you, you see? See, just clever stuff.
You dwarves are mighty clever.
What do you think, you?
The way you're able to come up with these things.
Well, I put it down to the pipeweed. Other dwarves will tell you that it's really bad for you and you shouldn't smoke it. But other dwarves are wrong. And I'm right, okay?
Certainly.
So if you'd like to leave your shoes with me, I can give you a loaner pair for boots if you want to, walk about town for a bit.
I've got a spare pair in here somewhere.
Oh, okay.
We'll pull out the fur boots that Yorick had made.
Oh, they're nice. Bit somebody who didn't understand leather made them, didn't they?
Yorick made them for us.
I mean, they're perfectly nice, don't get me wrong, but, it's not quite up to snuff, is it? Snuff, that's another one. Snuff is good for you. Anyway, you tell Yorick he's rubbish at shoes. He's quite good with sharp things, mind. And metal and all that.
Definitely.
But, I've got some of his bits and pieces that he left lying about when he was, last year. So I'll use them as the spikes, I reckon. Might just run them up to... No, I think I've got some. Okay, right, we'll see you in a couple of hours. So come back here and we'll have it done.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, what was your name again?
Melissa.
Melissa. Right, Melissa the Tall. Right, okay, just for the entries in the book, you see.
Certainly.
Okay, right, well, we'll see you back in say 3 hours. That should give plenty of time.
That sounds good.
Because Bendor, he's a bit accident prone. He'll probably stab himself a couple of times doing it, so... Right. See you later then, Melissa the Tall. And she picks up
Thank you, Carlos Scalvane.
And wanders into the shop with his partner. Bender! Come here! Good job! As you walk away.
I'll walk away. I'll probably make a return to the forge to go see how the dwarves are doing.
Okay. So, Ferenz, what was it you were up to?
Send you a message last week. I think.
Ooh, that was last week.
I don't know if I dreamed it. No, I did. Yeah.
Ferenz, where are we? Okay.
But I'd like to go and see if I can purchase a new axe for Trellador, because reasons.
Yeah, sure. You could wander. There are many different weaponsmiths here. Purchasing might be difficult because the dwarves don't really use money.
Right.
So,
I'll circle back to that idea later.
Okay. So, you wanted to sort of go off and examine yourself, as it were.
Yeah.
So, you can find a quiet corner. It's not a problem.
Probably go back down to that cavern where the eggs were.
Sure. Yeah, you can go back down there. It's very hot down there now, and there are the eggs are there.
Yeah, at least somewhat comforting. And he would just like to sort of have that time with the introspection because, and just see what that sort of devotion has shown, basically. Because he's gained scales and he just wanted to see if anything else has happened, especially given the events and what he, the reaction of Shine to what he did.
Okay. Make an introspection check. No. Make an insight check, please.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. Not too bad. 26.
26. Not too bad. Yeah, as you sit and contemplate holding the amulet and sort of checking how you feel in relation to your dragonness, as it were, your aspect of being a dragon, you can still feel that pulse from Shine. It is a little weaker. It's like, when you first joined up to worship at the temple, that you felt that calling. You felt somebody calling you or something calling you to this life of spreading the word of light and love and happiness and just good vibes. You get that same feeling, that rush of nostalgia for that simple time where you were just coming into the worship of Shine. And
but I also feel like it would now be that instead of it feeling like a pull, it's more like a push to carry that forward.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that calling all over again, but just sort of more centered in you. And you feel, good evening, Misty. Welcome back. You feel... It's weird. From the amount of time you spent communing with Shine and talking to other dragons, you get a feel for their way of thinking, which is... The older dragons, especially, a slower way of thinking, a more relaxed attitude to time itself, because they live for so very long. There's, their view of certainly the mortal races is slightly skewed, and you can feel yourself sort of slipping that way, as if the busyness of your companions isn't of overly much interest to you. I mean, you still love your friends, but the busyness that they have doesn't affect you, and you're just sort of sitting back and watching, and you get the feeling you could just like chill and just go with the flow, and if you could teach them to do the same, you're just like, the vibes are good. It's like, when that perfect wave comes and it goes, and the time seems to stand still as you're surfing that wave, and then it crashes on the shore, but there's going to be another one. So it's that sort of cyclical chill vibe that you get. Cool. So we leave Firenze in the heat of this cavern, thinking about the open ocean and waves and dragons, and we move on to Trellador. What were you up to?
So I've just been told that I'm back in the
Yeah.
club. Who's still with me?
Well, the dwarves went to the forge. Ferenz went off. Melissa's gone off. Florian, I don't know where you are, or Miette, or Celeste. Would you guys have stayed around with Trelador, or would you have gone to do something else?
I have something to do, but where I am doesn't necessarily dictate that. So.
Okay. Well, would you have? I would imagine you.
I
probably
might have.
stayed with
Yeah.
Trelador.
Yeah.
Okay, Celeste, Miette, would you have stuck around with Trelador?
I'd probably be around, but depends on what Trelador wants to do. If he wants to sort of stay with us, or if he wants to stick specifically to Florian, or what.
No, I think I had prepared myself to go, so I'm probably a bit shell shocked, and it's kind of the Ronan Keating principle. You know, you say it best when you say nothing at all. That I'm so scared of saying the wrong thing to ruin this moment that I'm just very shocked. And Florian, I think I need some time just to think.
Okay.
Will you do something for me?
Ask what it is, and then I'll say yes or no.
Yeah, well, I thought you'd do anything for me, but if you see that kid, kill him. No, I'm joking. If you do see that kid, just make sure he doesn't bug me.
I'll try to.
Did you discuss when we're leaving and where we're going?
No, the main discussion was centered around you. But I know there's a few things that they want to make.
What did they say?
Prepare for.
Centered around me, you say?
The option for keeping you or letting you go is what it was centered around for.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with you.
Apparently it was 4-3. Do you know who voted for who?
Nope, we all voted, put it in a hat, gave it to Jonath, and then he counted up and let us know what it was.
Where is this hat now?
It doesn't matter, Trelador.
Well,
take the win.
No, I need to know who I need to work on is the wrong phrase. You know what I mean?
But you don't need to know anyone, because if you're looking to aim to improve yourself, then it should come naturally, and then everyone will again, I won't say become fond of you, but not be angry and pissed off with you.
This is going to be difficult.
Yes. But you've come a long way, I can see that, but you do have lapses.
Well, don't we all? But I'm going to go for a walk.
Okay.
And then I'll probably end up in the tavern, as I didn't get to go yesterday. Come and get me when you decide where you're going and what you want me to do. You know I'm not fond of overly long discussions.
Will do.
Okay. So
And I'll just randomly, just like aimlessly walk around Darkhold, kind of introspectively thinking about, stuff.
Okay. I say you could find a tavern easy enough. There are plenty. Go in, get yourself a beer. You are recognised as one of the friends of Yorick and Gus, is how you're being referred to.
Yeah.
And are given beer if you want beer.
Given? Okay.
Yeah.
I will just take one, and and I'll just find a corner, and I'll just sort of old man at the bar, sort of nurse that for a stupidly long time.
Okay, you want to roll a d20 for me?
That's a 5.
5. Doesn't beat by 8, unfortunately. So you sit in the bar for 20 minutes, half an hour, and you hear a giggling, and hey, look, there he is. And you look across, and the window of the bar it's got a huge window to let in light in Daghold at the front of the bar, and the sill of it is only about a foot off the ground, and you can see these small dwarven heads with like just the smallest beards just poking over, and you recognise the children from earlier.
Yeah, all
looking at you and pointing. They're not coming in, they're just pointing at you.
No, I was going to say I'll go up to the barkeep and just say, do you have a children policy here?
Well, yeah, they can come in if they like, yeah. Why, do you need some... have you got some children friends or something to come in?
I don't have children friends. I don't have adult friends.
Oh. It's just that, what will you be with Gus and Yorick? Like,
Yes.
It's like so Can
you just stop those children from coming in? I just need some time.
I mean,
alone.
Not really. One of them's...
Well, I can pay you. Or I can go somewhere else.
Well, one of them's my daughter's son. So my grandson. So I'm not going to stop him coming in. Or his mates if they want to come in. It's a weird request, sir.
Yes. I'll just go.
Why don't you just sit in the corner and drink your drink? And here, have another one.
That's what...
Puts it on the bar.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Chill out. They won't hurt you. They're, just kids. They're having fun. They're looking at, they ain't seen an elf before. Or not for a long time anyway. So, just let it go. Just chill out.
Right.
Kids won't hurt you.
Chill out. Nothing can hurt me. I'm not worried about that. I'm just... Oh, okay. Yes, fine. Thank you.
You certainly seem to be very concerned about these children. It's interesting, that, isn't it?
I don't know what you're insinuating.
I'm not insinuating nothing. I'm just saying that it's a bit weird that you're concerned with these children coming in the bar while you're here.
I'll just take the beer you gave me and just retreat. I can't win with anyone at the moment.
Apparently not. So we leave Trelador to his contemplative beer and occasional giggling from the outside the bar. Florian, you wanted to do something.
Yeah, so I'm assuming there's maybe a benches or like a seating area or something in here. Yeah, so I'll just kind of
in where
find
sorry.
In Daghold.
Yeah, there are plenty of public places to sit. There are benches outside of shops, outside of houses. It's a very communal town. There are dwarves sat and have a chat, and outside their houses, outside other people's houses. It's a very sort of integrated society. Everybody kind of knows everybody else, and there's plenty of stone wrought benches to sit on.
Yeah, so I'll kind of find a quiet area of town, not in the hustle and bustle, and just as a random thought I've just had, but I'll follow it. I feel like it's something that Florian would do. I'm going to get out the map of Smyrna, what we got, what I copied from Malvisna's place, and I'd like to try and look at the map with what cartography skills I do have, and also think about Helloran being mentioned as some sort of key or potential key, and think about any symbols like the ones from the hills we've seen before, like how Hujima Flip was trying to escape near Redport and stuff like that.
Yep.
And just see if I can have a look at this map with both Helloran and Smyrna on, with all of that, and to see if I can see any major points in like the topography or stuff like that, to see if like it makes a key or something.
Okay.
Yes, Viddy question, thank you. I'm here
Yeah.
next week.
I'm just trying to work out what I can get you to roll to check for geography. Do me either. Let's have a look. Oh, actually, yeah, we could go with a straight nature check, couldn't we? Nature or... Hang on. What else could we do? Nature or... Investigation, your choice. You're using your
both the same
cartography
for me.
skills. You can add your proficiency.
Okay.
So I'll say whatever one.
And
you
I take it,
choose.
depending on what role I choose, would depend on
It
what
will
you give me.
depend on what kind of information you get.
I feel like I'd have to go in for investigating, because it
Okay.
feels like I'm looking for certain points on a map, or whether
Absolutely.
they be peaks or like higher things or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
To maybe signify something.
Sure. Make your roll. So that'll be a +7 for
A
you.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not great. 16 though.
16. Studying this map, because it has the locations of not only Smyrna and the Shards and Helloran, and looking at it, there doesn't seem to be a pattern. There's no sort of, oh, this will lock into here and that will lock into there. If we move the continents about, that would happen. It's more of a... Helloran, as opposed to the rest of the land masses, looks kind of almost artificial. The coastline's a bit weird compared to the rest of the land masses. It doesn't look entirely naturally sculpted. It doesn't look as... You know, you can often tell where an island is separated from the mainland, where you've got a sort of similar coastlines. There's nothing similar to Helloran anywhere else in the world, that coastline. So, I mean, even the Shards, you can see a vague outline of where it used to connect.
Yeah.
But Helloran, there's nothing like that. Not even to its nearest landmass, which is Shine Island. That doesn't appear to be... That appears to be kind of natural. You can see where that would have, millions of years ago, been attached to the continents. But Helloran doesn't appear to be... Unless it's eroded really very quickly, but...
Everything's the same age, essentially, when you look at it like that. But
exactly. Welcome back, Mr. D.
Okay, so artificial. It definitely looks as if though it's been put there rather than being broken away.
Yeah, it's not 100% natural, you would say. There's something just a little bit on. With a 16, there's something a little bit off.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. And yeah, I think the next time we're potentially near anywhere which is friendly and has some sort of library or something, I'll try and find like a geography section just to read up about lands and islands and stuff like that.
You can certainly try.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah.
No worries. So we leave Florian contemplating maps and move on to Madame Miette. Was there anything you wished to do whilst in this section of downtime that we have?
Not particularly, no. Tend to draw an inside check on Trelor to see if he actually is thinking, actually worrying about what other people think of him.
Absolutely, make an insight check.
Or, just follow him about the city, see what he's up to.
If you want to follow him, make a stealth check. It's against
I just see
Trelodor's
me peeping up next to the kids.
passive perception.
Yes, I don't know what you're talking about. I am a small dwarven child. That was a 28.
Why is that kid
28.
so furry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you.
They're dwarf.
Yeah. You follow
Big
Trelodor,
camera.
who sort of wanders about seemingly aimlessly for a while, then enters a dwarven bar, gets a beer, sort of sits for a while, then you watch these kids appear at the window and all sort of start pointing at him and sort of whispering to each other and giggling. And you see that conversation he has with the barkeep. Then he sits back down on a different table, so he's sort of further away from the window. But you can certainly make an insight check to see if his intentions are to be a better person.
Yeah, I don't
Trelodor,
normally get to make insight checks.
You can make
And I'll
a 3. Okay. Trelodor, make a persuasion or deception roll. Your choice. You don't have to tell me yet. You don't have to tell me which one.
I don't know how much I can show just because I'm just drinking a beer in a pub.
Yeah, well, she's been following you about, and you've been sort of contemplating the world. So
that's a 5. So
5.
I beat you massively.
Yeah, Madame Mia, you're not quite sure
Right.
Trelodor's intentions are. He's very difficult to read today. Normally it's very easy. He's either angry and hitting things, or angry because you lot are talking too much, or angry at somebody else. But today he seems different, quieter, until he gets angry at the barkeep and the kids, and then you can see that return to form sort of flash in his eyes, and then he just seems to chill out again. Well, as much as Trelodor can chill out.
Fair.
So, Celeste. Sorry, yeah, was there anything else you wanted to achieve before I move on to Celeste?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
So, Celeste, as you disappear, or don't disappear, where would you like to be and do, if anything?
I want to find the most open and greening. I don't know if there's going to be any greenery under the ground or anything that resembles like a park or anything like that, or even a remnants of a tree.
Nope. This is an underground city built on lava and crafted out of stone, out of the natural mountain volcano thing that it sits in. There are no plants here, there are no trees. There are the only plant life you've seen has been in Trelodor's hair.
Yeah.
With those little yellow flowers.
And how long would it take for me to get somewhere where there would be something plant-like? Would it take a few hours or?
Yes, probably. You would have to leave Darkhold completely, go down the mountain pass. Probably
Okay, not to worry then.
Yeah, you'd have to, because you've got the Firelands, and then you've got towards the forest. You'd have to go that way towards Drummond.
Okay, I'm just gonna sort of find an open space-ish place.
Yeah, there's plenty of open spaces.
Just sort of meditate and see if I can reach.
No, you've cut out. Reach out to what? Sorry.
Reach out to my new friend to see if they're still about.
Which new friend?
You're a high level druid. Try to do sort of plant life or something. Make some plants grow so you can sit in some planty areas.
True, I could do that. Yes.
Being a high level druid.
Anyala.
Anyala. Okay.
So so I'll use my druid craft to sort of create a little greenish circle of flowers or grass or something along those lines as much as I can.
I'll say make me a nature check. Let's see if we could, and you could add your proficiency bonus to it.
I'm already proficient.
Okay.
So do I add that again, or
no? I didn't know if you were.
25.
So 25. Okay. So yeah, you concentrate and get some moss to grow on the stones around you, which then pops up little purple flowers on one side and little sort of green and pink flowers on the other side. So, and make me a religion check.
Yeah, that don't go very well. 5.
5. What do you say to try and reach out to Anyala?
Are you still there, or are you sleeping along with the rest of them? I just want to try and figure out if they are still there.
Right.
I don't need anything from them. I'm just trying to connect.
Okay. So you reach out whilst you're sitting in this patch of greenery that you've created. And you get nothing back. No sort of warm wind or calming presence or anything like that. It's nothing. What that means, you're not sure. You rolled a 5 after all. Yeah.
I'll just sit there in sort of light meditation for a while, because everybody else has got other things going on, so I just want to sort of take a step back and take some time to just be.
Okay, that's fair. So, as you all finish up your day's work or investigations or general chilling, you can all meet back up at the Scalebane House to discuss your day. We can just go straight into a long rest unless anybody else wants to do anything.
Yeah, after we've finished doing all the stuff at the forge, I'll go, oh God, I forgot to call Del back. I'll be seeing you in a minute. And I'll go outside the forge and I'll just sit and concentrate and try and speak to Del. Okay. You there, Del?
Okay, because you can message her. You get nothing back, which is odd. Make me an insight check with advantage. I'll say.
With advantage. That is 10 minus 1 for 9.
9. It's strange. She did mention being really sleepy.
Yeah.
Last time you spoke. But she doesn't normally not answer you. Which is really odd. You start to get a bit worried. And then she speaks. Oh! Gus! Oh, sorry, I was... All
right.
Yeah, I was really sleepy. Did you know that all the dragons are going to sleep again?
No, I didn't know that. I knew some of the big ones. The really, 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 really old ones were.
All the old ones have gone already, but I think... Us that was, before all this weirdness happened, and we was, what was we talking about?
Sleeping.
Oh, that's a really good idea. I'll call you back.
No, hold on, Del. Don't go to sleep forever.
no response.
And I just slump to the ground.
So, Yorick, as you wander out from the forge after your day's work, you find Gus just sort of slumped on the ground. You're muted, though.
You're mute. Can't hear you now.
Well, I'm not muted anymore. I was just asking what's up. The old light back down. How's that, any better?
That seems to be better.
Hey, mate, what's up?
It's Dell. I called, I spoke to her again, and I think she's gone to sleep forever. Like all the big dragons have gone to sleep, and she's gone to sleep as well.
I didn't think about her.
Me neither. She just said she was tired yesterday, and so I thought I'll speak to her today. And she said like about all the dragons going to sleep, and now I can't get through to her.
Do you know
What
where
if I
she
never see
went?
her?
Do you know where
No.
she went to sleep?
No, purposely didn't tell me. So just in case, I told my granny.
I don't know. I'm really sorry.
But what if I never see her again? I need to speak to Dad. He might know what's going on because he's like half dragon, isn't he? And he's really, really old.
And he knows about this stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah, he knows everything. All right, let's go and speak to him. I'm sure we'll be able to sort something out.
Let's go.
So, you make your way back to the Scalebane residence. Sybil and Jonathan. Alright, boys. How are you doing then? You have a good day at the forge, did you? Was it good fun?
I had a really good day, and I'll be happy to talk about it in a minute, but something Gus needs to talk to you about.
Hey, right, what's up?
Yeah, I was trying to speak to Dell, and I think she might have gone to sleep, like all the other big dragons, and I'm worried I'll never see her again.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Well, I perhaps that'll be a side effect of what you've achieved. Is the dragons are... Sorry, say again, James.
I said, but I loves her and I can't not see her again.
Well, I think that perhaps there might be a... Do you know where she is?
No. Well, she didn't tell me specifically
because it's just in case it all kicked off and she's like, right, gotcha.
It was with the egg, wasn't she?
Well, the eggs are downstairs.
You know, well,
yeah,
because she took them away. Where would she? Would she brought them back then?
Well, I didn't do it, so must have been.
He's got out the door.
Yorick, everybody else, as you're sort of coming in, you see Gus just belting out the door.
Yeah, friends wouldn't have come back. He would still be in the chamber.
Okay.
Is he all right?
Well, I think he's gone to find Dell.
Is she in trouble, or...?
I think she might be a little bit asleep because, from what you achieved was making sure the gods and dragons are not in the world anymore.
Right.
So, this includes all dragons, not just, the big nasties. This will be the old ones.
But last time when everyone was locked away, we still had the gem dragons around, didn't we?
Yeah, but they was like... Well, when was the last time you remember... When was the last time you remember fighting a really big gem dragon?
Well, they're just not that big, are they?
So I reckons that they're not actual dragons until they get to a certain age. And I think what was going on with those eggs was mutating them so they weren't dragons, and the ones that escaped were the ones that we were told to go and fight. So I don't think there's been a real dragon here for some time until Del and the others were. I mean, I might be wrong, but I feel that, Del's a real dragon. Not like me or us lot. We've just got dragon blood in us. We're not dragons. So I think.
Just tried to fly.
Did he know? How did that work?
Yeah.
Did that
I
work
had to
out?
save him.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, well. Thank you again, Yorick, for saving him. Looking out for him. I think they're...
That's part of my job.
Yeah, I believe that is. I'm not sure, but I think if there's a way to wake a dragon up, well, there must be a way. Because we were told of stories, weren't we, as littlins? Well, when you were little. Stories of large dragons that the dwarves fought in the mountains to keep us safe. But I'm thinking about it, maybe they were drakes, not dragons.
Yeah, they're just exaggerated stories, I think, over time.
I mean,
thinking about
it
it.
really could be. It really could be.
I fought a dragon this big, Pub talk.
Right, could
maybe.
be pub talk. Could be. Well, I see all your friends
I hope Del can be. Yeah.
Yeah,
I hope
mean,
Del can be woken up.
She's very young for a dragon, you see, and that's why I think maybe we could get some way of waking her up. But I don't know of any. You'd have to do some research into dragons, perhaps. But that's time for another day. I think. Everybody froze there. It was really weird.
Yep.
Okay, what?
Are we back?
What was the last thing you got? I'm moving.
Last thing I heard was that's a take for another day.
Yeah, so do some research on dragons, perhaps, and then we can. Anyway, I think you ought to go and chase after him, just in case he's gets himself into trouble. You know what he's like. He'll do something rash, and then we'll have to go tidy up. Exactly. I don't know if all you want to go, or you want to stay here and have something to eat, or whatever. I think perhaps just Yorick on this occasion would be a good idea. The rest of you, come on in. Sybil's got some special mead she wants to try out on you. I don't know what it's like.
Right.
I'm sure it'll be lovely. So.
Yark, if you need help, you call for us.
I'll be alright, thank you.
It's really bad when your DM says special mead and your initial thought is traitor. We're all gonna go to sleep. It's gonna kill us.
It'll kill you all. So, Ferenz.
Yes.
As you're sat there contemplating life and surfing and being really good vibes, what does he hear as Gus enters the chamber?
I'll come racing into the chamber shouting, Dal, you here?
Yeah, friends will basically just slowly turn and go, ha, Gus, my dude.
What? Have you seen Dal? Is she here?
Right. Del?
Yeah, well, she was guarding the eggs. What? She said, they're here, so maybe she's here, because we think she might have gone to sleep, so I've got to try and find her.
Right, that makes sense. Oh, I can help with that. Right, this may take me a minute. So, Friends is going to attempt
What's for smoking down here?
Some pipeweed, obviously.
Kind of been getting back.
Same stash as Carla.
Yeah, been getting back to his roots a little bit. Whatever, take from that what you will. But he is
So it was
going to
leaves, not
attempt.
the roots.
Oh, I can sense if there are any dragons within 6 miles of me. I just realised I've got that primeval awareness.
Mhm.
I can select. I can do it within a mile or 6 miles if you're in your favoured terrain, which of course I am.
Okay.
That may have helped with Malvicinal when we first met, to be fair.
It might do.
Maybe.
Yeah, Gus, I forgot.
How often does a Rangers thing actually ever come into play, though?
This is very true. Very true.
Well, to be fair, it depends on how often the person actually remembers, which is
Yeah. Also true. Okay.
But a bit panicky, so I probably couldn't remember that anyway. But when you said I can help you with that, I suddenly thought, I can do that. And I just closed my eyes and squeeze my buttocks and try and see if I can sense a dragon within 6 miles.
Within 6 miles. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. You sense within 6 miles. Does it tell you which direction they're in, or
Doesn't reveal the location or number or direction, just that there are some there.
okay? There are definitely dragons within 6 miles of you.
Right. Oh yeah, of course, little babies, they probably counted. That didn't work. It just said there were dragons within 6 miles of me, or within the mountains, and I didn't help at all. What can you do?
right. Right. Do you want to come and sit here with me, please? Have you got something that was Dell's?
Yeah, I've got a scale. It's how we talk to each other.
Even better. Right, come and sit down with me then, Mr. Gus. This is going to be so righteous. I'm so excited. And I'm going to cast Scrying.
Okay.
And I'm going to scry on Dal.
That's a wisdom save normally, isn't it?
Usually, yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously there's a -10 if we've got like a body part, so a scale or...
It's a bit difficult to do a wisdom save if you're asleep.
Yeah.
So, as you peer at this, touching this scale, and it goes sort of a shimmer, and it turns almost mirror-like in your hands as you and Gus are hanging onto it, and you see Dell curled up in dragon form, asleep.
Oh, beautiful. Can you see where she is?
Is there any sort of landmark around her, or any? Do we recognise anywhere
Make
she
a
is?
perception check. Who can see this scrying? Is it just you, or is it both of you?
Oh!
So when I did it before, when I was holding, when I was holding Florian Tans, you said that we could both see.
Yeah, that was
kind of
slightly different, but
And
I'll
don't
say
forget,
General,
I am linked to
you know
Dell.
what? Okay, I will say you can both see it. We're going to rule that in this world, scrying means that you and whoever you're helping to scry on someone can both see.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a natural 20 for 24.
Excellent, and
I got a natural 15 for 30.
30. Okay. So, looking around where Dell is, you can sort of almost force the scry to look up and sort of around. As long as you keep her in focus, you can see the rest of her surroundings. Not a great deal, not too far, but you can see it. It looks like a cave of some kind. It looks very... It's not warm. It's not like a sulphurous cave. It's not lava. It's not... And you can see sort of like almost tide marks. Given your background, Ferenz, This is a cave near the sea, the ocean, whatever. But looking at the age of the tide marks on it, water hasn't been here for a very, very long time. So it's probably somewhere now up high that used to flood but now doesn't. You can't see the entrance to the cave, but it is... there are gemstones embedded in the walls. And they are emeralds.
Can I
we
use
got a natural
my
20.
knowledge
Hang on. Calm.
Sorry.
With a natural 20, just let me open up this file. Where is that? Let's go up there. Yeah, you would say that this is a natural 20. Yeah, it's difficult to describe other than what I've said, but you would say that this is quite a long way from Helloran. You think it's very, very far away. It's not even on Helloran. You don't recognise, as a dwarf, you don't recognise that rock formation. You don't recognise any of this strata. It's not normal to you. It's very different. You've not seen anything like that before. And you've been down and up and all around these mountains and nothing.
I think she's a long way away. I don't even think she's on Helloran.
You know, I get the feeling you're probably right. However, it does look like she's safe, so if we can deal with the rest of what we've got to do and then we can make our way safely or find a way safely, we can always go and try and find her.
That will be my lifelong quest now. To Friedel.
Friedel!
Eternal slumber.
I'm sure I've heard a story like that before. I don't know where though. But yes, yes, that sounds like a very righteous quest, Mr. Gus. I'm very proud of you for finding your life's purpose. However, I would be happy to assist should you require a treatment.
Thank you very much.
As you're having this conversation, Yorick, you run in to find Gus and Ferenz hanging onto a dragon scale and having this conversation.
Everything all right, Gus? Hi, friends.
She's not here, Yorick. She's a long, 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 long way away. Tucked up in a cave, fast asleep. We saw her. Ferenz did some scrolling or something. I can't remember what he called it.
Scrolling, yeah.
And we saw her. And we saw sort of in the cave she was in, and it was nothing like the mountains here. I just got the feeling it was a long, long way away. So I'm going to go to find her and wake her up.
Right now?
Well, not right now, because we've no idea where she is, but I'm sure in our adventures we'll come across her. At some point, I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
Reox wouldn't be that keen not to let me find her again.
When we finish with what we need to do, we'll go off and find her.
Right. Thanks, guys, and I'll give him a big hug. And Fred is going to come too.
My name's Yorick, by the way. Your name's Gus.
Yeah?
You said thanks, Gus.
Cousin.
Cuz. Oh, right. Well, those two names are too similar for me. Hey, how'd you weigh a dragon?
I'm going to call you Dickhead instead, then.
Fine.
All right.
How'd you weigh a dragon?
I don't know.
Scales.
Oh,
Thank you, friends. I appreciate that very, very much. And I'll take the scale, give it a kiss, and tuck it back into my jacket.
Right, you are.
So,
Got a feeling that joke's going to be added to Jade's repertoire now.
It's
So-
in now.
yeah, indeed, it will never get out. So you get back to the Scalebane residence. Those of you that are going there, you notice that Trellador has not appeared. Florian, I don't know if you have been in conversation with Trellador at all. But you did,
Yeah, I
he
would have,
did ask you to
walked
come and
around.
get him.
Yeah, I would have walked around to find him before heading back to.
But
Fair enough.
I said, come and find me once you've decided what you're doing. I.e.,
Oh.
I don't
We already know
really
what
want-
we're doing. We
I don't
discussed
know
that
that.
already.
Yeah, but I wasn't there.
This is true.
So I don't want to stay. I'm going to stay where I stayed last night because I still feel awkward.
Okay.
Okay. So, Florian, you can go find him if you wish.
Yeah, well, I'll find him. I'll update him on obviously what we are obviously going to do, and go and sort out this snow problem in the place Dar, but potentially heading up toward Kleinwater beforehand to see if we can find any information out. I'll fill you in on that, and I'll just be like, it looks like people are staying for an extra night, so coming back?
No. Are we leaving tomorrow or?
Potentially, I can't see what else there is for us to stay for once everything's done. So
Come and get me when you leave.
okay,
I think, this is going to take some getting used to. Half the group don't want me there, so. That's an improvement on, 7 before, so,
wasn't quite 7. I didn't never not 1 either.
I was counting you being the 1, but,
Well, there's 8 of us in this group, isn't there? Yeah.
Yes, it's been a very long
Fiddy's
day,
mistake.
Florian.
I'll come
Okay.
get you in the morning.
Okay. So, for those of you that are staying at the Scalebane residence, there is a meal provided with beer and special mead. Anybody who wishes to partake of the special mead may do so.
Soup.
Yeah, Florian. Gus, I'm assuming you do, and Yorick.
I will be down in the Sorrows tonight.
Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah, Melissa. No, Celeste. Miette? Friends?
Yeah, she's on a stakeout.
Miette is on a stakeout. Ooh. Are you still shadowing
Sounds like-
Trellador?
Yep.
Okay, make me another stealth check, please, because it's been, all day.
Well,
12. That still beats the passive perception of Trellador. But it does not beat the passive perception of Florian. Florian, as you leave Trellador, you see just that telltale twitch of a tail that you know Madame Miette is just hiding around that corner.
in fairness, I'm probably the only Tabaxi Dar at the moment, so that kind of narrows it down.
Yeah.
How tall are some of these buildings? What Madame Miette's are?
It's not the tallest one of them. It's because most of them are sort of carved out of the mountain, so there's no real top to some of them. Some of them are like 2 stories high. Some of them are 1 story high. It's more the alleyways in between them that have been cut out that Miette is using to shadow Trellador.
Right. Okay. I'll try and saying that rather than just walk around to her, I'll try and it shouldn't be too hard. Get up on top of one of these buildings and get to above Madame Miette.
Yeah, don't
Where
knock
she's
shit.
trying
You
to
can
hide.
do that. You will have to make a stealth roll if you want
Fine.
to try and surprise her.
Why not? Fuck it. When in France.
Indeed. Be French.
16.
16. That doesn't
Given my
beat-
passive perception, can I be like sitting there holding a popcorn from when he arrives?
Yeah, you just sort of look up. You hear rather than see, and you've heard Trelador scale. Oh, sorry, Florian scale buildings before. You kind of recognise his step. He's being very, very quiet, but not quiet enough.
Mm.
And as you drop down to be behind Madame Miette,
Not necessarily behind, but like, yeah.
Yeah, she just turns and. What do you say to Florian as he drops in? You knew he was going to do it.
That was good, but not quite good enough.
Could say the same for you.
No. You had an advantage. I'm a bit faster than the dwarves.
I think any of us are around here. I think
Perhaps.
he's doing okay. But
Is
I
he?
think I know what he's doing.
Has he changed this time?
Change isn't instant. We all know that, Madame. Yet
I know.
he seems to be more well intended in what he's trying to do. And although I don't think it will seem like it will affect him, as he is Trelador as always, I think he's changed a lot since we've known him. We've all made some stupid decisions.
I mean-
Myself included.
Trying to kill your once lover, I suppose. That could be counted as a mistake.
I like to see how people see it as he tried to kill me. If he wanted to, it would be quite easy for him, I think.
Yeah,
There
that,
was a couple of punches what he got lucky with.
you're right. That makes the situation so much better.
It doesn't. It doesn't. I'm just trying to put things into perspective here. He could have put his axe right through me with one foul hit. We all know that. He did resist towards the end to help us, to not stop any of us putting that tablet in. And like I said, I think even though I don't follow them anymore, and I'd like to have some of my own ideal going on, not a cult, not nothing, just trying to figure it out myself. The temple still had one good thing, is that everyone does deserve a second chance.
But
People
not
may
keeping
argue that
track
he's had
or-
2 or 3, but
Mm.
he's hit rock bottom, so I'm pretty sure he may now realize that he's got to do something different.
Perhaps. But he is a member of my caravan who has attacked another member of my caravan. And if he is to be cast out, there are certain procedures, shall we say, that have to follow through because the protections will also be stripped from him.
Yeah.
So
no,
you understand I'm in a difficult situation.
I do. And I'm not stopping you from doing it. I'm just... There's a lot of people who are against him at the minute, and I don't think I've ever been that way. I don't hold grudges all that often, or for long, unless you have some kind of heinous, murderous bitch of a mother. But yeah, you can't give up on people, otherwise they just give up on themselves, right?
That's true.
But I'll leave you to it. I don't think he's noticed it yet, so...
Oh well. Good luck, you will notice me when I want him to.
Indeed. I may or may not see you back at the scale veins, but thank you, madam.
Travel well.
And I'll flurry off.
Okay. So, as you all, or some of you, get back to the scale veins, there's drinking going on. Gus seems to be hitting it hard.
Bridris was with us in the forge, so would have come back with us, but he's too big to go into the house now. So she can be curled up outside with her head poking through the window, and I'll have my arm around her neck, drinking away and
Absolutely.
what have you.
Yep, not a problem.
I'll have told her what's happened with Dell, and she'll obviously be very up as well because she liked Dell.
She
that was a mum.
She has actually suggested that you should drop everything and we should go and find her right now.
Yeah.
But you know,
she's sleeping, so we'll find her. We have no idea where she is.
So, Sybil brings out a tray of ceramic cups, about sort of that high, filled with this sort of reddish brown liquid. It's quite sort of gloopy and thick. Right. I've been waiting for this for about 12 years. It's finally ready. So, you all get to have one of these. She hands them to those that are partaking. You ready?
Yep.
Oh. Okay, so I would like anybody who is not a dwarf to make a constitution check with disadvantage.
Okay.
Anybody who is a dwarf can make a constitution check with advantage.
Check or
That's
save?
drinking this stuff. Save.
Anybody who's immune to
Save.
anybody who's immune to poison?
It's not poison. It's not necessarily
it.
the alcohol that's going to get you on this one.
All drugs are poison, dude.
Did I say it was a drug?
No.
Okay, so
Oh, that's actually not bad.
okay, so who was partaking? Let's do. I know Yorick was. Yorick? What did you get?
22.
22. Yeah, you're fine. All that stings. All that shot like on rolls down your throat. It's the same time sweet honey, but there's this sharp, really sharp sort of bits against the back of your throat, and you can feel the alcohol in there as well. But it's really good. It's very good.
Good stuff.
Trenador's not there. Miette's not there. Melissa, what'd you get?
11.
11. You drink this drink, and at first the sweet honey and this smooth, sort of viscous liquid is slightly thicker than you used to. You drink it down, it tastes so sweet till it hits the back of your throat. Then there's pain, real pain. It feels like you swallowed broken glass. It's like, and as you cough, little tiny flecks of blood come out. And you take 3 points of piercing damage as the small shards of silica that have been embedded in this. It's like silica with chili inside it that are supposed to break when it hits the tough dwarven throats. Because dwarves aren't like other people. They have different anatomies and physiognomies, so
They eat rocks.
they do. Gus,
I got a 10.
10. Do you feel the same? It's cut. It hurts. It burns. You know what your mother's been putting in this shit, but it's horrible. It's just and it's like little flecks of blood. And you also take just 1 point of piercing damage. Florian, did you partake? You did? What did you
I
get?
did. I need to say, whenever your next battle you have for us, please, DM, can you make it that it's a drinking battle? Because I seem to have rolled good
Sure.
when it's to do with this.
Why
At
not?
disadvantage, I rolled 11 and 14, so 21.
21. Yeah. It's sharp on the back of your throat as it goes down in your stomach. You can feel it, but yeah, it's quite the sweetness and the thickness make it really nice at first, and then there's that sharp pain as it goes down, but you don't take any damage from that. Florian, did you go back? Sorry, not Florian. Ferenz.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I went back with Yorick and.
Okay. Are you partaking of the drinking, the special mead?
I'm just,
Sorry, say again.
I'm just observing.
Okay, cool. And Celeste, you weren't partaking, were you? Okay. So Sybil puts a glass out. Whew! That's some good stuff, right? Oh, are you all right, Melissa? You seem to be a bit like.
I saw something.
It's
I wasn't
chili
expecting-
infused silica. It's got little shards of it. Like when it hits the back of your throat, it just releases the chili, and then the honey gets it and the alcohol, and it's really nice.
It hit the back of my throat and cut me open.
Oh, perhaps like non-dwarves. Ooh, that might have been a mistake.
Yeah.
Oops.
I'll be
Oh.
alright. I'll stick to some lighter things. for
Right,
now.
no, don't drink this one in the future then. Like none of you
No.
lot that. Although you seem to be all right, Miss Florian. You all right with that, my dear?
It's not a bad drink, but I didn't break the silica. It still hurt. So
Oh, so you didn't get that chili kick. You need the chili kick, you see.
maybe we could pour a little more and break the silica into it.
What you mean, like just get like a mortar and pestle thing going on?
Yeah.
In the bloody honey mar, and then infuse it like that.
Oh, I never thought of that because I like that like scritchiness that you take it when you go down, and it's good. Yorick, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
There you go. See, man up, Gus. Dwarf up. Come on, you're supposed to be a dwarf.
Have you got like a strainer, Sybil, and we can just pour a bit into a glass, and then maybe just break those silica bits up and put it in. And
Well, I suppose we could do that sort of thing if that's what you wanted to do. Like, it's fine.
I mean, it's a lovely drink, but I'd love to get the chili kick for it. I just didn't get that. I just got the lovely thick honey and mead
Right,
taste.
right. Okay, well, and she sets about straining a couple of ones for you, and then sort of starts smashing all the silica up into a fine powder. You can see these little flecks of chili, so she mixes those back into the honey. She said it won't be the same because you won't get that scratchy, but here, and she gives out again.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's much easier on the throat this time. No constitution save needed. You drink it. It is beautiful. The sweetness and thickness of that honey-based mead going down, and then you get that chili kick afterwards, and it's delicious. So, with that, we will take our break, so we can all get some honey chili infused mead to.
Yeah.
Just don't drink glass, kids. That's probably not the best plan. So yeah, we will take a little break. We will be right back after these sponsorship messages that we still don't have and never will do. So enjoy late stage capitalism. It's really good for you, probably. And welcome back. We awake the next morning, unless anyone has any particular things they want to get done before a long rest. No? Okay. So you can all have a long rest for those that need. Reset spells, etc.
I'll get my one.
The morning is yours. I assume Yorick wishes to go down to the forge to do some more crafting. If anybody wishes to do anything else, please let me know. Miette, did you stay out all night watching Trelador?
I feel like the stages of my long rest and all of my spells depend on this answer, but yes.
Okay.
If you didn't wait till he went to sleep and then went and curled up on his face and nearly suffocated him, I'm going to be really disappointed. And
I mean, I'll say that once he decided to have his 4-hour nap, because he's an elf, he does meditation, he doesn't sleep for normal.
Yes, I want Trelador to wake up with an inexplicable amount of cat hair on him.
We can do that, not a problem. Yeah, Trelador, when you come round, there is shed cat fur. Just cat hair everywhere. All over you.
Must talk to the barkeep about security in this place.
Oh, you're not in the bar, you're just outside.
Oh, okay.
In a square, the same place you split last time.
I must talk to the barkeep about getting a room this time.
That would probably be wise.
Retcon.
So,
while we're down for breakfast, I'll give the. I'm heading back to the forge for a quick bit this morning. Does anyone need anything? Florian, did you want me to work on your stuff?
I mean, if it's possible, that'd be brilliant, but don't put yourself out.
Anything's possible.
On that note, what time are we leaving today?
Think so.
I think so. Are we heading for Clownwater, Giffield, Dar? I don't know where we all want to go.
I have
I
no
think-
idea where those places are, but that seems like a good idea to me.
I think Kleinwater could be quite good. Maybe get a bit more information on things, just past or present.
Go back where we started, get some information on
Yeah.
what's happening down in Dar.
I'll let you all in. Yesterday, whilst y'all were doing everything you wanted to do, I sat down and had a look at the map we got from Malvesno's place, and I just tried to piece a few things together. And I'm trying to think about this whole Helloran as a key thing. Nothing really seems out of place with this place called Smur, but Helloran definitely doesn't seem natural. It seems artificial. The shorelines, everything. It doesn't look like it fits in with the rest of this place.
And then like his friends will get really excited and just start slapping Gus on the arm and go, Mr. Gus, look, that's where we need to go.
You're right. Right, let's go.
That's quite a lot of land. that we
Need to
need to
go-
go.
Need to go for what exactly?
Oh, didn't tell you, did I? Right, well, it looks like my lovely Dell's gone to sleep with all the other dragons. And so I don't know where she is, but I know she's a long way away, so I've got to find her and wake her up.
Do you have any information on where she might be?
She's in a cave somewhere that's not in Helloran.
She was quite high up,
Yes,
so there were tide marks on the edge of the cave that
but
were,
very old ones.
Yeah, that the very old ones, which means that the level of the water has dropped over time. So this place used to be flooded, but it's not now.
I've got a brilliant idea, of course. Well, it's me, isn't it?
Is there
Right,
anything else you can tell me about this cave? Because
It's got
I
emeralds
am-
in it.
I am from these lands, remember?
well, it didn't have the sort of rock strata that I recognise from around here. And it looks like it was had a like tide level from a long time ago, but that was obviously when it was at sea level. It's now not at sea level, so it's got to be very, very old.
There was them really big emeralds in the wall as well.
Oh
Weren't
yeah, lots of emeralds, which you'd expect.
Can I,
Emerald dragon.
DM, can I think of a place that's heavy in emeralds that could be near where they're talking about?
Make a. Ooh, let's think.
Geography check.
Yeah, make a quick geography check for me. Let's just move you over there. What could we do? I would say make. What are we gonna do? This call this. So it's not really nature. Yeah, go on. Give me a nature check. We'll see.
15?
15. Okay.
Even if I can narrow it down to sort of like north,
Yeah.
south, east, west, anything would be better.
Caves with emeralds, not really your speciality. You're from, obviously, the elven forests of Fanria. You know the dwarves in Hotad do a lot of mining. Perhaps it's there. It's the only place you could think of that would have caves with emeralds in. But surely the dwarves would have emptied that if they'd have found it. So it suggests that somehow they haven't found it. or it's not in Hartadu. With a 15, it's very difficult to place. I mean, you've heard that Hareen is the biggest country that you know of, and it borders Hartadu. Maybe there are emerald mines and caves there. Stop it. I can see you.
It's a great dwarven fortress town.
No, do not.
Well known for its pineapples.
Okay. Rocks fall,
Yeah,
you
you
will
do
die.
realise out of everybody here, you're the man most at risk, right?
Rocks fall, you'll die. Bye. Anyway, no, you suspect that of your limited knowledge of geology, the first place you would think of would be Hartadu.
Well, I would suggest maybe that the first place to start, once you go on this mission, would be somewhere like Hartadu.
Who?
Hartadu.
And
Where is that?
I point to. Oh, hang on, no, because Florian's not got his map out, has he? Get your map out.
I literally just said I got my map out, so I could.
That's why I
point
shared
to
the
all.
screen, because he
Oh,
got the
beg your
map
pardon.
out.
Yeah, brain. Okay, so I will trace down this area here. This is where the dwarves in my land live, and obviously they are great miners like yourselves.
Oh, that could be fun to meet some new dwarves, Gus. We'll have to
Good.
start there.
I've still had this brilliant idea, which I think is something we need to do before we go anywhere. Right, I've got Dell's scale here, which gives me a magical link to her so we can communicate, right? So if I find me a high-level wizard, right, a powerful wizard, who might be able to cast a spell that'll tell me what direction that link is, then it'll like point to where she is, not how far away or anything like that, but it'll give me the direction to follow. And as long as I follow that direction, I'll find her eventually.
Right.
I see.
I don't know if it's possible, but
What's the spell?
I don't know. I don't know what the spell is. I just had that brilliant idea.
I think you might be onto something there, Gus.
Because I know there's already this magical link between us, and if we can get a sort of powerful magic person to link into that,
Gus,
and
I am your powerful magic person.
I know,
think
but
Reorcs-
well, maybe Reorcs
could give me the power to do that.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good
I
idea.
can't do it right now, but I reckon you could.
But maybe you can like locate creature, or maybe legend law or something.
I could, like, he wants me to take something and then find the path of where we need to go.
That's not. You might be onto something there, Yorick. That's good thinking.
Let's keep that working on that one,
Yeah.
because we've got the scale here, and I know that I can use it to communicate with her. So it's a special link between us. So we just need to find a way to turn that into a compass. Don't know what a compass is, but that's what I'm going to call it from now on.
Yeah, they don't work down here. Too much magnetic interference.
R.
What if you use that spell in the way I've been looking at this and thinking about it, of Helloran being a key, or there is a key on Helloran? Would it work like that?
Say that again in.
About keys.
So I can't remember what the spell is called, but you just said you could potentially do that to
Find the path.
like find path. Yeah. Choose. Is it something or some one?
So the exact wording of the spell, because I also have it.
Yeah, it doesn't really say about a person, but
But you can choose the destination, can't you?
yeah, it does say you need to be familiar with the location. But I wonder if I could scry the same way that you and Gus did, and then cast the spell. I might be able to.
So I was just thinking to try and, in my brain, slash Florian's, to try and narrow things down to this whole key business, whether it is at Helloran or did we misinterpret that? Is there a key on Helloran we're looking for something? Maybe you could.
Right.
Do you see what I mean?
Well, that particular spell, Florian, that I'm thinking of, finds a location, not a thing. So, if the key is a thing that we could just go and pick up, it won't work. But if the key is Helloran, then we're already there, and I think the spell would just sort of go, "You have reached your destination," or something.
Is it worth giving it a go though, just in case there's like a specific place?
Well, I can't do it today.
No. It's just
I can try.
We can try and expedite things before we get to Clan Water.
On the morrow, I will speak with Reox in my sleep, as I do, and I can, get particular powers from him for the next day. So I'll do that.
Maybe we could put the scale in something, and maybe you could magic that something that sort of like it'll beep when I'm pointing in the right direction or something.
Are you trying to use the scale as some sort of GPS tracking device for a dragon? Is that what you're trying to do?
Sort of.
Okay. Interesting.
But I had that thought, because there's that magical link between us, and there is a physical scale there may be some way of me being able to use that like a compass, basically.
It seems logical to Gus, for sure.
Right. I go back to the forge. I'll be a couple of hours. Florian, give me a staff. I'm gonna. What did you want doing? Just some metal on the end, or some spikes, or something.
I mean, yeah, not necessarily, not necessarily that, but yeah, just to make it a bit better if you can, like similar to what you did with Madame Miette and Gus and that.
Well, I ended up making something quite special for Madame Miette. I hope she enjoys it.
Yeah, it's just like I said, I seem to have all of these wasted skills I can use, and it's down to the weaponry because it's not as heavy punching or hitting, should I say, as my fist.
Okay.
In answer to your request, Mr. Yorick, I don't really need anything, but thank you for the offer.
Quite alright. Alright. Staff, shield, and then we get on the road, okay?
Right.
Okay. So, Yorick, as you head down towards the forge, you bump into Carla, your second cousin, twice removed, or some such, you can't really remember. She's like, Yorick!
Oi!
Hey!
Good to see you.
Oh, sure. Hello, mate. Yeah. Really? You're going into bootmaking now, are you? Do you think that's a bit, stepping on people's toes? Boots, toes. So, yeah, I saw a friend of yours, Melissa the Tall.
Oh, right.
Yeah, she had a pair of boots that you made her. I mean...
That's cobblers, mate.
Not bad for a, rush job, but...
Oh, yeah. No, I made those while in the lair of an ancient undead dragon or something.
Nice!
Not my finest work, I'll admit, but it was quite cold there, so I made everyone some nice booties.
I mean, it's what you do, isn't it? You make things to help your friends out.
Quite right. Didn't have an anvil with me, so that was the best I could do.
Oh, fair enough. If you see her, the tall one, you tell her that her beautiful red shoes are ready. She wants to come down and collect them.
Yeah, She was trying to get me to do some work, so I sent her your way because,
I mean,
Mastercraft.
that's what you got to be, in it. Master craftsman to master craftsman. Oh, what I want you to do, right, really quickly for me, they're not quite ready. I just want you, and she pulls out these sort of blades that are thick at the top and then go to tie, really literally a stiletto point. They look like stiletto daggers. So, look, this is left over from when you was doing something or other, and you dropped them off at my shop. I don't know why, you just did. Could you just like sharpen and make sure that they're really perfectly weighted? Because she'll explain, they're going to fall out of these shoes that I'm making her, and they're going to stab into whatever she stands on, and then there's going to be a little explosive charge that forces them down in. You see, and then that resets. As when she picks her heels up, they reset into it, which then changes the charge. It's like it's not really explosive. It's more like a magnetic type thing.
Yeah,
with
right.
springs. So if you can make these as sharp as you possibly can, that would be amazing.
Absolutely.
Tell Melissa the talk. Bring them carefully, mind you. Don't want to cut her fingers off. To me, and then she can pick her shoes up.
Okay.
Righto.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much. Good to see you, Yorick. Right, I'm off back down to sit in front of my shop, watch them slackers do some work.
Bye, Carla.
See ya. She heads off.
I'll just pop back to the house and grab Melissa and pull her along with me.
Okay. So, whilst you're
While doing all this,
okay.
Sorry.
No, go.
I was going to say, while he's doing all this, I want to take Bridris and find the biggest cavern, so it gives her a bit of flying room, and have a wooden dummy and start practicing mounted combat using my new Drake spear.
Absolutely.
So we can fly around and flash at this thing just so we get used to flying and fighting together. Okay,
yeah, I'll say you could spend the next 2 hours doing that, making charges, making runs, sort of getting used to the way Bridris moves when she's going in for an attack, so you can then coordinate to do that. I don't think you really need to roll for it. I think it's just something that will come with time.
Practice. Yeah.
So you practice over and over, and you start to get coordinated with Bridris. Okay. So, is there anything anyone else wants to do before we go to the forge and do some crafting roll?
Friends would like to have a conversation with Draneth.
Okay.
The reason behind this is, like, he has absolutely no idea how to barter / pay / obtain an axe for Trellador. So he's going to ask the one other person who knows, who's older than him, likes dragons as much as him, and reasons.
Okay. So, all right, young friends, how are you doing?
I bet you do quite well.
Good. That's really good to hear that.
I started to sort of think a bit more long term, shall we say, and taking things a bit more slow. However, we are leaving tomorrow, and Mr. Trellador is, for want of a better word, axeless. Well,
I've not seen him about, actually. Is he just like still? Because you had that vote, and I thought he was going to be back in. Is that not the case?
It is the case, but he probably still feels a little bit awkward. You know what these elvish high-strung types are like.
Right, yeah, they're a bit impulsive, aren't they? These elves, they don't live as long as, proper peoples.
I mean, I wouldn't quite put it like that, but I take your point.
Sorry, that was rude of me. I should have said that. I'm too old for that. I should know better. Sorry. Carry on.
Yeah, that's fine. I didn't mean to insult you if I did. I'm sorry.
No, you did not. I did the insulting, and I apologise.
Right, I feel like I'm waffling, but it's probably because I've been around Gus and Yorick a lot. But I would like to try and obtain a new axe for Mr. Trellador, but Mr. Yorick doesn't want to make him one because, and I kind of really understand
Right.
because
Oh,
there's a little bit
I
of
see.
animosity there.
Ah. Well, see, that's going to be a problem because, like, whoever you go to
Mhm.
is going to recommend you go to see Yorick because knowing your connection to him, they will be. Well, it's difficult, you see, because like dwarves, right? What we do is we have strong views on who should be doing what for who. Because, like,
I-
you're friends with Yorick, so the first person you should be asking for an axe is Yorick. So, to ask another clan to do you a favour and make an axe, they're going to be very suspicious, you see, and then they'll try and discern why the Scalebanes aren't good enough to be, and then Sybil's going to get upset because, you know, you're bringing the Scalebane name into disrepute, and then, you know, the others will get upset because they'll say that Scalebane's out better than the rest of them, and then this will get upset. Look, right, what I would do to avoid all of that, because it's quite complicated and they do go on about it, is
With
wait
everything
till
you-
you leave,
Right.
find a blacksmith shop that sells dwarven goods. Now, I happen
Right.
to know of one that says Scalebane approved on it. Not sure how that happened. I did have
Right.
a word with those two boys. I suspect it was them. So, if you can go there, and I can't remember where it was now. I think it was in
It was in Giffield.
Giffield, yeah. I believe that was in Giffield. So, if you get yourself to Giffield or another, I mean,
I'm really sorry, Gareth. I didn't hear anything after you said that Sybil would be upset because I was just imagining all the ways that Sybil would, you know, do the things, you know,
Yeah.
that Sybil
So,
does to
right, what you want to do is to avoid Sybil being upset. Is do not
Right.
try and get an axe here. Wait till you've
Right.
left. Get one in
Okay.
Clydewater or go to the Scalebane approved smithy in Giffield.
Is it actually scale being approved though?
I mean, it's got Scalebane approved written on it, and when I confronted Gus and Yorick, it was Yorick what approved it. So, you know, I can't really unapprove it.
Right.
It has to be him. If he wants to unapprove it, if they're doing shoddy work and they've got the Scalebane name, then Yorick needs to go sort them out.
Okay. Right. Thank you. Yeah, I will take that. Yeah, yeah.
What might be a good idea is to somehow get that relationship between Yorick and Trellador back on keel.
I mean, overall, that is my goal, but I think
That might take a while.
I think I probably get more chance of moving this whole city, like, and picking it up and moving it than I have.
I mean, that's you put that quite well there, I think.
See, it's spending time with you know, the dwarvish peoples.
Yeah. It
'Cause,
sort of rubs off on you after a bit, doesn't it?
Well, see, Shine told me to come and help some dwarves, and he put some like dwarven knowledge in my head, so so I could better perform that task. And it seems to have taken over slightly.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, as I say, the best thing to do is just lay it low. Don't ask about here. Wait till you leave.
Which you are. Thank you for your advice, and yeah, please don't tell me, Sybil, that I said anything because I don't want her to be upset with me.
It's fine. I won't. This will be our little secret.
Thank you. Right, I'm gonna go and spend some more time in the cavern with the eggs before I leave.
Right now.
Because-
I'll let everybody know that's where you are. Good lad. Okay, so anyone else want to do anything before we head to the forge and
Yeah.
do our crafting rolls? Florian.
I'm just gonna catch up with Trellador and just let him know the plan that we're just gonna get things signed off, and then we'll be leaving.
I'll meet you by the front gates. What? Couple of
About
hours.
Yeah, something like that, I reckon.
And we're going where?
I think we're gonna be going to Clownwater first.
Okay. To do.
Gather information, past or present, to do with Dar and Snow.
Okay.
And I think we were going for Celeste's family as well, I believe.
Yes, because arc stress. Arc stress.
Stress. Oh, stress.
And I think
In
Celeste's
fact,
family as well.
in that case, I take it back.
It'll be
Oh,
nice
yeah.
to be able to sit back and relax for a while now the Dwarven arc's finished.
Yeah.
The Dwarven Arc has been quite long, to be fair.
Yeah.
But incredibly good fun.
Yes, it has.
Did Gus come with me to the forge, by the way, James?
No,
Sorry?
no. Gus is training with Bridris.
Ah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I
anybody
love the
else?
way,
Sorry.
sorry. No, just I love the way James said, you know, yeah, Dwarf Arc is finished. Like, it's completely safe from here on out.
Yeah.
Bless.
Yeah, I'll just head back after I've seen.
Okay. So, nobody else wants to do anything. We will turn to our crafter. So, same role as before. What are you working on first?
So I will do Florian's stuff first.
So, same role as before. If you get because it's a +1 at the minute, you're going to make it into a +2. If you get a 25 or above, it can go to a +3.
Cool. But I don't have advantage this time because Gus isn't helping.
No. Unfortunately not.
You lucky boy.
Wow.
What'd you get?
I was literally about to say
I
fuck
rolled a
you, Gus.
15 to 25.
Oof.
I
Nah.
wish I'd have taken that one myself.
Sorry.
Cool. So, I've lost all the things that I had open. Damn it.
Many tabs. No.
There
Oh
we
shit,
go.
they're closed.
No, didn't want to do that. Oh. Okay, so you work on this stuff. Not necessarily just putting the metal caps on, although you do that. What you've done is strengthening it by putting metal, sort of inlaying it in this hardwood. By inlaying this metal all the way along it, and then making sure it balances properly, because whilst it was a fairly decent staff, it was slightly unbalanced. So you've grabbed in a couple of carpenters that you know, who are very rare down here. There's not a lot of wood that comes down here, but there is some. And they look at it and assist you and help and sort of plane some of the wood off and tell you where to add metal. So if you want to put a design on it, that's up to you. You can describe what design you decide to put on it for Florian.
Just the symbol of Reorcs all the way through.
There we go.
No, I wouldn't do that for him. I don't know. Just some nice pattern diamonds and things.
Nice.
Maybe on one end you should have an angel, and the other end you should have a demon.
Oh, very cheeky.
The handle in the middle, like a shape. Yeah, the handle in the middle should like a massive dick.
I kind of have like this picture of like it being like the metal shards kind of like being interwoven between the wood and everything, so it like crisscrosses right the way from one end to the other down the staff.
Yeah,
and this like central handle kind of like being made of that metal and it's being perfectly balanced, and you can just kind of essentially just spin it on one finger type thing.
Yeah. You could absolutely do that. So you now have a +3 staff,
Thank you.
which you could add to your inventory, courtesy of Yorick.
I will then sharpen up the blades for
Okay.
Melissa's boots.
Yep, doesn't need a roll, unless you want to try and make them into something special. It's up to you. I mean, the boot. They are just stiletto blades. I mean, okay. What I'll say is, if you roll above a 15, there'll be a +1. If you get a 25, there'll be a +2. Because otherwise, it's going to be fairly overpowered. These boots.
Please don't burn another 25 because I want one for mine. 22.
22. So +1 stiletto blades. So you can add
Okay,
Plus-
I'll go modified for that.
+2 to those boots.
Cool. Just add to the damage, I assume, when
Yeah.
I'm standing on
And
something.
to hit. But they're kind of
There's no
guaranteed
to
to hit.
hit on-
There is no to hit because they're kind of guaranteed because you're standing on it. So
I presume there would need to be a to hit just in case, like to show about the piercing the armor if there's armor or something like that.
Or
I
if
mean,
you
they'd need
kick,
Or if you
Yeah,
Spartan
true.
kick someone.
Yeah,
Just
maybe
not
maybe there's a +2 to hit on me, like wielding them as a dagger, but on my leg. Well, the end of my foot rather than
yeah.
that.
Okay, we'll do that. So, the shield then.
Yeah. So,
What is your shield
Yeah,
currently?
no.
+1, +2,
it's a +2.
+2.
+2.
Okay.
Yeah. At the level up, I took Shield Master, and I thought, oh, I might as well try and upgrade my shield while
Okay.
I'm here.
So it's already a +2.
Yeah.
So I'll say if you, I'll say you're guaranteed for a +3. If you get 25
Okay.
or above, we'll do something special with it.
Oh. Okay. How can I? Can I call over one of the other smiths
Sure.
in the forge? Just with a, I'm working on something special for myself, mate. If you could just spot me, give me a hand, make sure I get it right.
Yeah, and what you notice is there's the master smith that nodded to you yesterday when you were working. Sort of shoves the guy aside that you've just asked to help with, and says, "I may be old, but I'm still the best goddamn smith here. I'll help ya. All right?
Thank you.
Now,
I didn't want to take you away from any other work.
appreciate
you.
you scale beans. Sometimes you get all cocky like, and you have to be taken down a peg. And other times you're like, oh no, I didn't want to. You got to have a middle ground, young'un. So, what are we doing? Shields, is it? Right.
Shield.
Can have advantage.
Thank you.
Oh,
Now,
Oh no!
5 and an 8.
Ah,
bugger.
Can I give you my heroic inspiration?
Are you there?
I mean, maybe if you were there.
Anybody
I don't
is.
know,
Melissa's still there.
I don't know. I do. I'll give you my heroic inspiration for onlooking, kind of
I-
clapping whenever you hitting things with hammers.
Okay, you can go again with advantage.
Oh.
Because he's still helping you.
23.
so close.
Oh well.
It's not
Is what it is.
It's a +3.
Not.
Which is not to
Still,
be sniffed at,
that's
really.
very
No.
not at all.
That hammer you've made for yourself.
That's a
Shield.
Shield, sorry.
Okay, so your crafting comes to an end after a couple of hours. Melissa, after you have helped Yorick with his shield, take those blades down to Carla, who is again sat outside her shop, sees you. So, oh, right, Melissa the Tall. Did you get those blades off Yorick?
Yes, I did. He
Okay,
sharpened them up real good.
You've been very careful not to stab yourself.
I try to avoid it these days.
Perfect. Right, let's see them then. Ooh, they look great. Okay, so what we're going to do, and she shows you the inner workings of the shoe and what happens, and she sort of clicks them into place, and there's a little cap that goes over the bottom of the shoe, which then just flicks up when you release it, and she sort of like picks them up and just sort of claps them together like that, and nothing happens. She's right, so in the air, nothing. If you stood on the floor, watch this, and she puts them onto the table in front of her, which is a stone table, mind, and clicks and puts them down, and you hear this as the back, the little tiny heel covers come up, and she sort of says, well, try and push them over. Go on, you try it.
I'll just try and pull one off the table and...
Ah, no, you won't be able to do that till you stand in them. You'll have to get on the table here on out. She gets you up on the table, and as you stand in them, you decide to release. So you move forward, pick your heels up onto the balls of your feet, and you hear this as they resheath. You now have
These are
some
very nice.
stiletto heels.
Fantastic.
A beautiful red polished
Stilettos,
leather.
stilettos.
Okay, so
This is absolutely fantastic work, Carla. Thank you.
I mean, I can't take all the credit. Those blades were, custom made by a Scalebane. So, Scalebane's master craftsmen we are. We're the best. Don't let anybody
You
tell you
certainly
otherwise.
are.
So, you have a lovely day, and those shoes look damn good, if I may say so myself.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a wonderful day, Melissa the Tall. Come back and see us soon, right?
I certainly shall.
Maybe we'll get you some of those arm blades as well. They're fun. Anyway.
I'll smile and head on out.
Okay. So, as you all reconvene, heading towards... Well, which exit are you heading towards? You can go back down towards the exit to... hang on, let's get the map back up.
I had a quick question.
Yeah.
Surely, as the master craftsman I am, I should be rolling my crafting check with expertise rather than just proficiency.
I think that's a very good
It
point.
is a very good point. You have been given the best tools available. Okay. Go on then.
That was very cheeky. Well, I mean,
But from now on, yes, I'll say that you could be an expert with your crafting tools.
it's a custom skill, actually. I mean, do you want me to re-roll, or should I just add to the previous roll?
That'll make it to this. Well, what I'll say is, we could add this going forward because under the tutelage of the master craftsman himself, any future roles
I'm happy with that.
can be done with expertise.
Cool.
Because of the way he's shown you how he would do it.
Yeah. I didn't get it right that time.
No,
but I've
but
learned
next
a few
time-
new skills going forward.
You know, there are other
but yeah,
forges in the
the-
world.
The handle seems a bit loose on this, Yarok. Is there anything you can do about it?
Fuck off, Finny. If you don't mind.
I think your handle's come a bit loose, mate.
Maybe you can buff his knob.
I beg your pardon.
Okay, wrong campaign,
I mean-
but let's go.
Yes.
Okay, so,
There's innuendo and then there's that.
No, if it was a different campaign, that would be my job.
you know of 2 ways in and out of Daghold. Well, 3 ways, if you talk about it. One is towards the fire waste, so I'm presuming you don't want to go that way. The other is towards the squeeze and the Macabar Hills. I'm presuming you don't want to go that way. The other way is the way that Snow used to know about, and still does presumably, is the Tabaxi boats that do the trading between the dwarves and the city of Clydewater.
Or
Or-
I could speak Dutch.
Or you could speak Dutch and be wherever you wanted to be. Or you could travel a couple of days, find a tree, and your druid could sort you out. It's entirely up to you. And you tell me what you want to do and where you want to go.
I will be
I-
waiting at the correct entry.
Yeah, I think I'd be like, Cholador's waiting for us at like the only exit we know out of here at the minute. We know of a couple, but the main one. Maybe we should just go to him, and at least we'll all be together before we make this decision. Not
Go
that
to
he'll
him,
join
we
in,
can
but we can all
figure
leave at
out
the
how
same
we're gonna
time.
get there, and yeah.
Okay. You will.
Before we leave now, I want to draw the DM's attention to his DMs.
Oh, sorry. Oh. Yoop. Ah, okay. So you wish to sneak off somewhere? Very well.
I'm gambling that I'll be able to, go off, do an errand, and come back and find Trellador without him nosing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
attempts to steal the whole of that hole.
Okay, so what would you like to do yet?
Need to find a jewelsmith / metal worker
Easily done.
and get 8 necklaces commissioned in platinum because it's the most precious metal I have. With the symbol of protection on them. The one
Sure.
symbol.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean that doesn't take long to do. There are engravers and jewelsmiths here that can do that work for you. I'll say if you started that yesterday, then it could have been completed this morning for you.
Excellent.
So yeah, you may now put those in your inventory.
And how much platinum should I take out?
Depends on how chunky you want the necklaces to be.
Well, not, delicate lady about town type necklace. It's more like,
Okay.
adventurers, rugged. We'll survive a
Gotcha.
couple of hits.
I'll say it takes 3 platinum pieces melted down and recast to make each one.
Okay. That seems reasonable.
Okay. So
Yeah, that's the only side errand I wanted to do, thank you.
okie dokie. So unless there's anything else anyone wants to do, you can all meet up at the gates of Daghold that lead out towards the squeeze. That direction. That's just the main exit that you know, or that most of the party knows. Obviously, Yorick and Gus know of others. So, what would you like to do?
So, what's the plan then?
Are we heading Clanwater or Giffield or where? Where are we heading?
I think Clanwater is a good starting point. Information there. Old and
Clanwater
new.
looking into Celeste's family?
Yeah.
I would appreciate trying to find out what's happened to my mother and sister.
Well, if you want to
down
get a
there.
time walk, we should go the other way because the squeeze is on the other side of the mountains, isn't it?
I was going to use the teleportation thing that we found in Malvisnor's lair.
Right.
Although,
I mean,
isn't there a river that leads down from Daghold down that way?
Yeah, that's where we went when we first left. Remember, Yorick?
Yep.
You went back down the stream, and then we ended up in Kleinwater, and that's where we first met everyone.
Yeah.
considering what we're potentially about to do, I'd rather not go by river.
That's very true.
Ears and eyes.
Damn cowards!
Probably a small planet.
Damn it!
Clanwater was where I appeared when I first came to this world. I think I remember it quite
You
well.
landed on a table.
Yeah.
That was
No,
funny.
I landed outside.
No, I'm pretty sure you landed slap bang in
It
the
was
middle of our table.
assassin. It was the assassin who landed smack bang in the middle of the
Oh.
table.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I popped into existence on a dusty road.
You did. So,
I think
Pretty
that can
sure
bring
I
us to
remember
the
a
outskirts.
nearby tree, so if we can get to a tree, I can take us back.
Oh, right, yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
Could just take us to the outskirts quite easily.
Well, that's fine. I'm happy whatever way, as long as we can take. Oh, I don't know. And I'll just hang on to Bridges' neck and give her a quick cuddle.
I have a idea. Why don't we use the tree, whatever that is, to get to where we're going now, and then we can always use your strange book thing to get to the what was that place? Larkham.
Larkham.
On the other side.
I do hope they're doing well.
Wait, is there people there? I thought everybody was like,
No,
We
there are a few.
rescued the village.
A horrible monster eating them all.
I mean, quite a nice axe there.
And you see this breastplate? This is what's left of that monster.
I see you all have new shiny
I still
things.
keep forgetting that you're wearing that, Gus.
I know.
So do I.
I'm still just me.
As am I.
Yeah. So, we're heading
Technically,
to.
you're not just you. You've got like a strange, dragon hand.
Yeah.
I suppose I'm not
And
really.
I have
right?
had that hand
Scales.
for a while now.
Ah.
We all go through changes, friends.
So,
Sometimes you just need a little bit of help from your friends.
how are we getting to Clanwater? Do I need to start scratching up some gemstones? Or.
And let's take a hike.
Sorry, I just have
Celeste,
to add. And you're the best of my friends because you gave me a hand.
Oh dear.
That was terrible.
Um,
If you have inspiration,
Yeah.
lose it. If you don't,
Yeah.
half your health. I'm kidding, obviously.
Yeah, but
Punish
Yarok,
them as well.
maybe a walk just to get out of here. For
Yeah.
a little bit. We've been. Not that this is a bad place, but we've been doing a lot recently. Maybe just a free
maybe we
walk
go
would be quite nice.
stretch our legs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you make your way to the western gate where you know the train happens. And as you get up towards this gate, it's not busy here, which is weird. There's usually lots of hustle and bustle going on. There's usually dwarves heading to and fro, carrying packages, parcels, shifting barrows and barrels, but nothing. And as you walk out onto this sort of rocky plain that is at the head of this river, there are no boats docked. Now, the boats dock, used to dock at least 3 or 4 times a day, as you remember, because you escaped downriver in one of those boats.
Yeah.
But there are none.
Do you think this might have something to do with that, cultish behaviour that's going on? Because didn't they say that there were no trade boats coming down anymore? Ever since they set up shop in Dar.
Yeah.
So,
I think maybe taking a walk and finding a decent sized tree would be better than nothing.
well,
We're above the tree line here, but if we go down a bit, then you'll find
yeah.
them.
There's, whilst the river cuts in between the mountains, there's no path out or road out. This is a boats only exit. This is not,
Monk only exit.
or a monk only exit, yeah, whatever. But the point is, it's not meant for people to walk down. When Gus and Yorick escaped and fled down river, they did so in a tabaxi boat.
Yeah.
There is no obvious way to, unless you want to swim.
I thought we were heading to one of the exits that went to a path out through the mountains, not the water exit.
Didn't say that, but okay, you can do that
Going
if
for
you
a
want.
walk to go find a tree.
Okay, well, then I will
If
retcon
only
all
we
of
had
that.
gone in the party loop with someone fucked
Or,
to take us out the water exit to the nearest
in the
tree.
forest with you.
I mean, you could go towards the squeeze. It's the only other path that you know out. Going out towards the fire waste, you need to go through tunnels, and some of them may be collapsed into a last exit that way.
Well, there's no other way out here, so maybe Trellador, if we walk to your forest, maybe we could use a tree from there.
Yes, or no?
I mean, that's going to take
Sure.
what, a couple of days.
Yeah.
I might be able to make a tree. I haven't really
I was
explored that.
out your head, Trellador. Can't we use you as a tree?
I'm not a tree,
Not sure how advisable it would be to create a path through the middle of Trellador.
I like that thought, but maybe you could use your connection to your forest and nature and that really nice lady who is Riox's mum, who's not at all scary when she gets angry. Maybe you could try and make like a tree grow.
Yes, but I'll be loath to call on her. Maybe this is something I need to do for myself.
Maybe you, as your in your position as the warden, maybe you could ask if one of the trees could,
Just pop up and say hello.
Yeah,
temporarily.
I mean, it's normally druids that do that sort of thing, but I can give it a go.
Yeah, but
I am warden.
yeah, but nobody here is the warden of the forest, are they? So this is why I'm asking you.
I know. Yes, I can definitely do that. And he has this sort of vacant look because he hasn't got a clue where to start. Maybe Celeste, you've probably done something similar to this. Do you want to start it off, and I'll, help guide you through this process?
Creating a tree.
Well, you're a druid, aren't you? You've created like little crowns and things for that.
I don't want to put too fine a point on it, but maybe because we're borrowing a tree from your forest, maybe it's you who's got a lead.
Yeah, I will lead, but I think it's good for
No,
Celeste
but
to
maybe
start.
yeah, but it's got to be you because you're the warden. Celeste isn't the warden. You are.
And maybe try asking nicely for this.
Yeah. All right. In the spirit of this new and improved Trelador, I don't know how to do this.
So we're okay. So you've got a connection to the forest, right?
Yes.
So maybe speak to the forest and see if we can get borrow a tree.
Yeah. You see, that's the point where you're making quite a leap there. It's the speak to the forest bit. That's there seems to be a few more steps needed there. Do I just hello forest?
Reach out to the forest.
Yes.
Like you did when we were fighting my mother, and you got us extra protection.
I mean,
Ask if they can help with having a tree somewhere near us.
Everything in the earth is connected. We just have to bridge that connection.
Yes, it's all very good you saying all these airy fancy words, but practically, what do I do?
I've already taught you what to do. I mean, me and Mr. Dranath taught you how to do it in the cavern. You were just very I do want to see. I think the right word is belligerent.
In the interest of brevity and finishing this session before tomorrow morning, you have come out to the water exit because that was the nearest one to climb water. You've seen there are no boats and no dwarves here. Somebody make me an insight check onto Trelador.
Yep.
So it's got to be the king of insight.
Yeah.
26.
26. He has no idea how to do this. Absolutely none. He even told you so. He doesn't know how to do this. The quickest and easiest way for you to get to Kleinwater is to ask Melissa very nicely to make a teleport circle.
Yeah.
Okay.
She has offered twice to do so. And you've said you want to walk for 2 days to find a tree. So, I mean, you can do that if you want. I was just trying to kind of let you talk it out, and then hopefully you'd reach the conclusion, the fastest way is teleporting. But it's up to you, whatever you want to do.
Melissa said about the teleport circle, and then it all went back round to trees again.
Yeah.
Forensic is in full I can fix Shreddador mode, so he will be oblivious to everything else. So it's going to take somebody else to spearhead this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, are you good?
Melissa, I think it's what you suggested earlier on. Maybe you can teleport us just to the outskirts of Clownwater and get there.
Yeah, it's no problem. I've gotten a bit of a better hang of this thing. I just need some sapphire dust. to get it to work.
Easily done. There are 2 dwarves loaded with
Sapphire
gems.
floor hammer.
Yeah. Easily done.
Oh boy, I have to read these words again. I really must figure out what language this is in.
It's Dutch.
I'll set out the. I know that.
Land of the very tall people.
Indeed, Melissa the Tall is casting the tall piece of people's spell.
So yeah, I'll set out the circle, do the drops of blood, and then kind of wave the feather. Bring ons naar de Anderplaats, de plaats van outskirts of Clownwater, Helloran, and set the feather down.
And as you do so, the circle starts to glow, and you all rush through. And you find yourselves on the outskirts of Climewater. You can see the walls of the city. You can see the river rushing past. You can also see an encampment. Lots of tents, lots of soldiers sitting under
That's
different flying banners. And that's where we'll end it for tonight. Ta-da! Hooray!
Just
We've
landed
escaped
right in the middle of a
Daghold.
battle.
I don't mean to railroad you guys, but that was just ridiculous. You were going round and round in circles trying to figure out how to get out of Daghold. I'm like, but you have a teleport. Why don't you want to use it?
Why are we trying to use tree stride?
We haven't got any trees
Like,
for
it's called
miles.
spell.
It's
I
not
know,
tree
but
guide, it's transport via plants.
York made the suggestion of like walking and that, and
Yeah, but I'm
I
not
just-
always right.
no. And I just thought it might be just quite nice to try and do something like that. And
I mean,
maybe
I'd
step
assumed
into-
that the original plan was to go out on one of the walking paths that like the hunters would have used, because there'd be like pine trees up there. But
Well, the hunters used to walk in the Circle Mountains. They didn't go outside the Circle Mountains. That's the point of Daghold and the Circle Mountains. It's an enclosed, shut society. There are 2 exits, one down by the squeeze and one through the river to Climewater. And there may be other various tunnels that may or may not be known about. But that was kind of the point. It was a closed society. Nobody knew how to get in or out, apart from the Tabaxi who traded with them, and then the treading waters. So anyway, we have made it out. Yeah, a bit of a weird episode. Sort of lots of downtime activities and soul searching and knob polishing. But
I think that's neat occasionally, especially not polishing.
yeah, absolutely. Got to get your stuff all shiny.
Yep.
So, yeah, this was good fun. Thank you very much. We will be. Wait, no. We will be back here on Sunday for more of the investigators, because that's going really well. Not a problem. Nobody nearly died. It's all good. And then the following Tuesday, we will be back here to find out what's going on just outside Climewater. So, if you enjoyed it, and why wouldn't you? We had fun. Why didn't you? Come on, why didn't you? You did. Oh, great. We loved you. You're fantastic. If you didn't like it, however, off you fuck.